Dark Secrets at Zero Point, the Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe Files. Intro. Not the dawn, but the twilight. Beneath the scorched yellow earth of Şanlıurfa lies the greatest riddle of human history. For years, what were we taught? Primitive humans were simple hunter-gatherers obsessed with survival. Art and religion came only after they settled with agriculture. Göbekli Tepe smashed this theory like a sledgehammer, but there is more here than just an ancient temple. There are details that make even archaeologists shudder. Drilled human skulls, deliberately buried megaliths, and depictions of apocalypse carved in stone. This was not just a place of worship, it was the arena of humanity's first savage struggle with nature, death, and the cosmos. We are diving deep into the Stone Hills, Taş Tepeler project. Welcome to the uncensored story of Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe. Chapter 1. Pillar 43 and the Vulture Stone Mystery. When you enter Göbekli Tepe, you are greeted by massive T-shaped pillars. These are stylized humans, but look closely at Pillar 43 in Enclosure D. This stone is the Mona Lisa of the Neolithic age. On it, there is a vulture, a scorpion, and a headless human figure. What does this mean? There are two powerful theories. First, sky burial. In that era, people did not bury their dead. They left them in high places. Vultures would eat the flesh and carry the soul to the sky. The vulture figure holding a ball, likely a head, on the stone was probably a guide carrying the soul. Second, and more terrifying, according to scientists like Martin Sweatman, this stone is an astronomical calendar recording a comet impact that hit Earth around 10,900 BC, triggering the Younger Dryas Ice Age. So our ancestors didn't just make art, they might have carved the memory of an apocalypse in stone. Chapter 2. The Skull Cult and Bloody Rituals. Göbekli Tepe might not be as peaceful as we think. Analysis of human bones found during excavations revealed a shocking truth: the skull cult. Some skulls were skinned, marked with ritualistic carvings, and drilled with holes to be hung. These people displayed the skulls of their ancestors inside the temples and communicated with them. Theories even suggest sacrificial rituals took place here. Oxalate residues found in stone vats prove that massive amounts of beer were produced here, and huge feasts were held alongside bloody offerings. What brought people together wasn't just prayer, but intoxicating feasts and the frightening shadow of their ancestors. Chapter 3. Karahan Tepe and the Manifesto of Masculinity. Karahan Tepe, discovered after Göbekli Tepe, complicates the story further. While animals, snakes, foxes, dominate Göbekli Tepe, humans begin to dominate at Karahan Tepe. But not just any human, the male. Think of that famous chamber in Karahan Tepe, a human head carved into the bedrock facing a row of phallic pillars. This was undoubtedly an initiation chamber. Young men would enter this dark room surrounded by snake carvings and phallic symbols to undergo a symbolic rebirth. There are no female figures here. The Stone Hills were not a matriarchy, but the center of a harsh, hierarchical hunter brotherhood. Chapter 4. The Great Burial. Intentional Backfilling. The biggest mystery lies at the end. These temples were not destroyed. They were not invaded. They did not collapse in an earthquake. Around 8000 BC, these people did something inconceivable. They intentionally and laboriously buried their temples. They carried tons of soil, limestone, and debris. Like burying a body, they covered those magnificent works of art, never to be opened again. Why? Perhaps their beliefs changed. Perhaps with the transition to agriculture, the old gods and the hunter culture became a burden. Or perhaps the temples had served their purpose. By burying them, they sacralized them and abandoned them. They waited in the dark for 10,000 years until we found them. Outro. The hunter in you. Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe show us that humans were not born innocent. They possessed a complex, ritualistic, sometimes savage, but immense intelligence. Agriculture, cities, and our civilization today were born as a byproduct of this belief system. Even as we sit in our modern homes today, we still carry the genes of that hunter who danced around T-pillars, kept skills, and gazed at the stars. The stones are speaking, and the story they tell is ours.